Now, you know what? It's on mute. There we go. There we go. All right. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shalom. All right. If everybody could give us a 1 in the chat, if y'all can hear us. Give us a 1 in the chat. I know we got a little bit of delay, and if everybody could hit that like button, I appreciate it. So we can kind of get it out to everybody. Shabbat shalom. Good Officer Mordecai Yasharala, Brother Byron Helm, Caleb Yasharala, the Brother Brad, Officer Emmanuel. Shabbat shalom. Okay, good. We're coming through clear. I'll pray. Again, thanks everybody for joining us. And I know we kind of had it on mute. I'm Captain Shazael, all right? And today we're going over the 4th part of our series on how to get out of this burning house. Now, before we jump into that, I just want to make some announcements real quick. For Passover, all right? Everybody know Passover coming up? Everybody knows that? All right. So Passover is coming up. It's April the 25th at sundown, okay? April 25th at sundown. We're going to have it here in San Antonio at, where are we? Yeah, but what's the Hampton Inn. Okay, well, we're going to have it here where we have our Shabbat classes at. So we are at a hotel, so everybody can actually reach out in the WhatsApp. Everybody that's part of the congregation can reach out in the WhatsApp or in the email that you will see. 1 second. Here at the bottom. Okay. Reach out to us at the email for any questions and pricing for this year's Passover. Okay, we're gonna have a glorious time. It is gonna be on Sunday, April 25th. So it's gonna go down. We're gonna be announcing the itinerary here at the beginning of March. But I wanted to make the announcement now. So we got 2 months. We got 2 months, really 2.5 months before Passover. You know. So I wanted to do that first. The second thing I wanted to go into, and I don't know how many brothers and sisters that's online, that's with us. We're in Abraham Yasharala's class, powerful class. Second officer brought out last night, but he had a question in that class. Okay, he had a question in that class, and it was regarding Psalm 83, 82. Let me see. I'm going to it. But he had a question about verses, and he didn't have a question like he didn't know. He posed a question and challenged brothers and sisters to do their research and find out who these people are. And this is Psalms 83. Okay? Let's get Psalms 83. We're going to read verse 2. Okay?
Book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For lo, thine enemies make them tumult,
Mm-hmm.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head. Okay, make sure you read them strong. Go ahead.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have what?
Taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Read on.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Mm-hmm.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us what?
Let us cut them off from being a nation.
Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name Israel be no more in remembrance. What does that mean? That means you're going to call yourselves black. You're going to call yourselves Haitian. You're going to call yourself Mexican, Puerto Rican, everything but Israel. Okay? This is prophecy with King David. Okay? The Psalm of Asaph. Read on.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
Mm-hmm.
They are confederate against thee.
They are on one accord against the Most High. Okay, so if they're on one accord against the Most High, that means they're on one accord against us. Okay? Read on.
Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom.
Stop right there. Okay, so this was Abraham's question. Who are these people? Anybody in the chat want to give a go at it? I got the YouTube chat up, and I got the Facebook chat up. I'm going to give everybody online a 45-second head start to give us their response on Psalms 82 and the identity of who these people are today. And we're not going to spend too much time on it, but I do want to give everybody a chance to answer. Anybody online want to take a shot at Edom? Anybody want to guess who Edom is online? You got 45 seconds. They are. You're in the room, all right? You here. Okay, so that's probably the easiest one. That's the so-called white man. Very good. Okay, read on.
And Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites. Anybody want to take a shot at that? Who are the Ishmaelites? Okay, you got a 35-second head start. Don't you do it. All right, well, she's writing it down. Okay, that's good. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Sister Nancy. There we go. There we go. Sister Nancy got it. Boom. The Arab, the so-called Arab. You know what? Let's give them a round of applause. Getting that right. One more. Let's do one more. Go ahead.
Of Moab.
Of who?
Moab.
Who's Moab? Who's Moab? Online crew. See, the officers are being nice online. I appreciate that, brother. And I salute y'all for being nice. I see them on here. They kind of like, I know they all shaking their heads like, okay, we're going to be nice. That's good. Anybody want to take a shot at Moab? Okay, going once. Online, going twice. All right, in the room, who's Moab? So you got to raise your hands.
You better not skip me. Asian.
Which ones? That was it. That was it.
Chinese.
The Chinese. There we go. Those. Okay, Byron put it in. Okay, yeah, the Chinese. So y'all said it. Let's give me a round of applause.
You are the Japanese.
That would be Ammon. The Koreans are pretty much the same thing as Chinese.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same. So we're not gonna go in too deep on that because we wanted to make sure and follow back up with Second Officer Abraham's lesson. Great lesson last night. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. So this class again is regarding the fourth part of how to get out of this burning house. Martin Luther King. I think we're still in so-called Black History Month, right? So everybody focuses on the "I Have a Dream" speech, right? Here we focus on what he said to Harry Belafonte 5 days before he was murdered, where he said that he felt he was integrating his people into a burning house. And once he said that, 5 days later, he got took out. Okay, so I just want to kind of show our little chart right here, so everybody kind of know where we are. So again, there are 5 parts to us getting out of this burning house. Okay, we teach this every year around so-called Black History Month, and I don't know how well y'all can see it online, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it. We got 5 parts. First part, which was week 1, spiritually separating. That was the first part. Second part, separating psychologically. Third part, separating economically. That was what we went over last week. Okay, so if you have not seen those 3 parts, please go back and watch those 3 parts. There's a lot of information, a lot of understanding to be had. But today we're going to be talking about, today we're going to be talking about the fourth part, which is social separation. Social separation. And see, let me get, since my man's over there, can somebody give me 1 Thessalonians 5:21?
I got you.
1 Thessalonians 5:21. Go ahead and bring that out strong whenever you got it. Okay.
5:21.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Prove all things.
Read it again.
Prove all things.
Prove all things. So for us to sit here and explain why there is a need for separation, we have to prove it. Okay? We have to prove the reasons. We have to show why. Read it again.
Prove all things.
Mm-hmm.
Hold fast that which is good.
We're supposed to hold on to what's good. Okay? And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. We're here to prove all things and to hold fast to what we find is good. So now that everybody has the announcements, I want to get and we got that understanding, kind of that recap. Let's talk about the fourth part of getting out of this burning house, which is social separation. All right. So let's get the definition. My definition, girls, from the definition of socially. Okay.
Okay, so you want to read all of the definitions? Okay, so the adverb one is in the friendly company of others in a genial or gregarious manner.
Wait, in a what?
Genial
Mm-hmm.
or gregarious manner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one says in a manner that relates to human society.
In a manner that what?
Relates to human society
Mm-hmm.
and its configuration as a community.
That's perfect. Read that one more time. Take your time reading.
In a manner that relates to
In a manner that relates to what?
human society
Human society. I'm just going to repeat it. Go ahead.
and its configuration
And its configuration.
as a
Read.
community.
As a what?
As a community.
As a community. Y'all understand that? You understand what the definition of social, what socially means? Okay. Read the next
In a manner that relates to the division of human society into classes according to status.
one. Read that one more time.
In a manner that relates to the division of human society into classes according to status.
According to status. According to status. Okay. I know you got some more. Go ahead.
With attention or regard to rules about behavior.
That was the one right there. With attention and regards to rules of behavior. Of behavior. Okay. What else you got?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. That's what it means. That's what being involved here socially means. Okay. First, in regards to class, it has to do with the behavior. It has to do with how it relates, how society is configured. Okay. How society is configured. So you don't understand these things until we go on the definition of it. And then we start to get these understandings, and we get the understanding of what it means in the world. Then we get the proof of what it means in the world. Then we see what the scriptures say. Because the scriptures give us answers to all things. Okay? So one of the first things that I want to explain is that our households are under attack by being conformed to this society. Because society needs us to be completely adverse to scriptures and completely adverse to be set up from who we are supposed to be. Okay, so the only way for us to truly function in society, we have to be adverse to the scriptures, meaning totally opposite from the scriptures, and we have to be adverse to who we are supposed to be. Okay, so I want y'all to also understand something else, that with everything our people have been through, trying to get along with our oppressors, all the lies, all the thefts, all the abuse of our children at the borders and inside of the borders, all the beatings we took, the Karen culture, the police killings, all the Breonna Taylors, the George Floyds, the Ahmaud Arbery's, and then all the police murderers that have walked away free as a bird, we still fight to be part of this society. We still do, okay? And Israel, it's time for us to start taking our evolution to the next level to get out of this burning house. It's time for that. I want to pull an article up real quick. You're gonna love this one. Y'all are gonna love this. There's gonna be a lot of information here. Let me share the screen real quick. Let's see. Yeah. We're gonna do a test on this. Let's see. All right. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's that. Okay. All right. Can you see it? Oh, good. Yeah. You can turn it on that side. You can turn it. I don't know if anybody see it. You see it? No, right. On the TV. You see it? Yeah. You get it? You get it. No, it's not. Yes, come here. Everybody be patient. Okay. Hopefully everybody online can hear us. Okay. Hopefully everybody, brothers and sisters, can see that clearly. Please just put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear us, and if you can hear me and see it clearly in the chat. Okay. Good. Okay. Please just put a 1 in the chat if you can see us and see it clearly and hear me. Okay. I'll praise to Byron. All right. Okay. So, for one, thank you, Dwada. So, as Black pastors resist Jim Crow, white preachers often incite racist violence. Okay. This is the article, but I want to get, there's just one specific part that I'm going to go into. I wanted to just prove that was a real article before I went to the screenshot. Okay. I don't see it. Okay. So white lynch mobs in America has murdered at least 4,467 people between 1883 and 1941. This is what they report. Okay. Hanging, burning, dismemberment, garroting, blow torching their victims. I'm gonna read it again. White lynch mobs in America murdered at least 4,467 people between 1883 and 1941. Hanging, burning, dismembering, garroting, blow torching their victims. Their violence was widespread but not indiscriminate. About 3,300 of the lynched were Black, according to the most recent count by sociologists Charles Seguin and David Risby, whoever that is. So they get to decide how many that they killed, okay? The remaining dead were white, Mexican, and Mexican descent, Native Americans, Chinese, or Japanese. Such numbers based on verifiable newspaper reports represent a minimum. The full human toll of racial lynching may remain ever beyond reach. Read it again. The full human toll of racial lynching may remain ever beyond reach. They're never going to be able to come up with a count of how many people were killed with all the lynching and murdering, blowtorching, dismemberment, garroting, hanging, and burnings. They're never going to be able to come up with a number. Okay. Religion was no barrier for these white murderers, as I've discovered in my research on Christianity lynch mobs in the Reconstruction era. White preachers incited racial violence, joined the Ku Klux Klan, and lynched black people. Sometimes the victim was a pastor. Okay. When considering American racial terror, the first question to answer is how much the lynch mob could kill a man of the cloth, but why would white lynch mobs kill at all? The typical answer from Southern apologists was that only black men who raped white women were targeted. I'm not going to get into that. In this view, lynching was popular justice, the response aggravated community to a heinous crime. Let's take a look at it. Posing for the camera right there. Let's see that? Let's see that? Okay. Journalists like Ida B. Wells and early sociologists like Monroe Work saw that the smokescreen finding only about 20% to 25% of lynching victims were alleged rapists, about 3% were women, some were children. Black people were lynched for murder or assault or suspicion that they committed those crimes. So if they suspected that you committed a crime, they lynched you. So what is a suspicion? A suspicion is, I think he did something. I think he did something. So let's kill him. Okay. So I'm not gonna bang too hard on this, but that was what I wanted to bring out was the numbers first. Okay. I wanted to bring this number first. Let's get. Let me share my screen. Stop sharing. Let's get Zephaniah 2 and 1. Okay. Zephaniah 2 and 1. Let's see. Okay. Go ahead, bring that out.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together.
Mm-hmm.
Gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather together, O nation not desired. Now let me ask you, was Zephaniah talking to everybody to gather together? Because you know why? How could he be talking about everybody when he said, "Oh, nation not desired"? Which nation is not desired? Okay, because I mean, you got to really think about this when you start talking about the truth of the scriptures. Because to gather together, that's part of a social construct, right? That's part of putting yourself together. This is what Zephaniah was telling his people. He was talking about the nation of Israel. Okay. Let's get Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. Okay. Oh, second officer Abraham was stealing my thunder last night. He was going into some scripts. I was like, man, this dude must have had a dream. The Most High must have downloaded some of my lesson on this man. He was bringing out some of my lesson. Let's get Matthew 10 and 5. Matthew 10 and 5. Okay. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
These 12 Christ sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Go what?
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Okay, go ahead.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Those cities, don't even enter them. Okay? He's telling the apostles, read.
But go rather to the
But what?
But go rather to the lost sheep.
But go rather, instead of going to them, go who?
Rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
How about that? These words are in red. The Messiah said, don't go into the ways of the Gentiles. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Read.
And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. So when you go to Israel, you tell them the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay? You don't go to Moab. You don't go to Ishmael. You don't go to Esau. You go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and tell them that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. These are not my words. These are the Messiah's words. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. Heal the sick.
Heal the sick. Come on.
Cleanse the lepers. Raise the dead.
Raise the dead. Okay, read.
Cast out devils.
Read.
Freely ye have received. Freely give.
You understand this? We're going to break this down because a lot of times people read this and they think somebody's walking around with a cough or a sneeze. Read it again. We're going to go slow.
Verse 8. Heal the sick.
Heal the sick. How many of our people are sick? How many of our people are so sick in the mind because of this society, they don't know how to fix themselves? He's telling them to heal the sick. He's telling the apostles to heal the sick. Read.
Cleanse the lepers.
Cleanse the lepers. These are the people that have uncleanness in them. Is that impossible to do? No, because you can be taught how to cleanse yourself. Some people are unclean because they don't know how to be clean. They don't know what unclean means. Okay, you can be unclean by doing certain things before you come to the Sabbath. You can be unclean by eating certain things, by wearing certain things, right? By being with certain people. You can be unclean, right? The Messiah was telling the apostles, what did he say? Read that again. Cleanse.
Oh, cleanse the lepers.
Cleanse the lepers. Okay, read.
Raise the dead.
Raise the dead. That sounds like David Copperfield. This is not a magic trick. Our people are out here in a dead estate because they do not know who they are. They don't know who they are. They have no hope. Okay? When we were dead at one point before the Most High put his spirit on us, before we were taught who we were. This is what he's telling the apostles to do. Raise the dead. Read.
Cast out devils.
Cast out devils. How many of our people got devils on them? Damn demons on them. And they need to be taught how to get rid of those demons. That's casting out demons. You don't have to be, what do you call that? Yeah. That's not real. Okay, that's not real. You think idolatry is going to fix that? Idolatry is not going to fix that. This is about casting out the lies, the evil spirits that people have on them. Okay, that they walk around and put on people daily. Okay, you got something?
Yeah. When it says raise the dead.
Raise the dead, right?
It's more about like what you're talking about. Before you wake these people up, they already have like a branding on their head because of what they do in their actions and stuff. They're already pretty much perceived as dead. But when you wake them up and they change their walk and they move in the right direction, that mindset that keeps them alive.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You raise the dead at that point. They're walking in life. Very good. Very good. Read the last couple.
Freely you have received.
Freely you have received, meaning that I have taught you this truth. I have given you this. I didn't tell you to charge them 20%. Read.
Freely give.
Freely give. Y'all understand that? Y'all understand what Hamashiach was teaching the apostles and telling them to do to the children of Israel? Read that definition again.
The second, all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start from the second one.
In a manner that relates to human society and its configuration as a community.
Its configuration as a community. We're reading about that. What the Hamashiach was teaching, right? Go ahead.
In a manner that relates to the division of human society into classes according to status.
According to status. That's why he said freely give. It doesn't matter how much money they got. It doesn't matter that you were at a certain level in your life, you were taught this truth, so you're only going to teach certain people. It's not about that. It's about you teaching your own people. Okay? That's what this is about, all right? Let's get Matthew 15 and 21. Matthew 15 and 21. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, I have mercy on me, O Yahweh,
Mm-hmm.
thou son of David, or O Lord, thou son of David. So like, my daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil, casting out devils, right? She was out here probably, who knows, wilding out. This was another nation, okay? Okay, who knows what she was out here doing? Okay, go ahead.
But he answered her not a word.
He did what?
He answered her not a word.
He didn't even acknowledge her. He didn't even acknowledge her existence, right? Read on.
And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us.
You see that? The apostles even said, man, get rid of her. Okay, get rid of her. She crying after us. You know, she couldn't reach you, now she crying after me. Okay, read on.
Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Read it again.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So if you wake up every day preaching John 3:16, break that down. Break that down with a straight face. Okay? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 25. Then came she and worshipped him, saying,
Mm-hmm.
Lord, help me.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said, it is not meet.
It is not what?
It is not meet
Come on.
to take the children's bread
Mm-hmm.
and cast it to the dogs.
And cast it to what?
To the dogs.
To the dogs. Why would I give what's to my? Why would I give to what's for my people to some dogs? That's what he's asking. You need help? Why would I give what my help, which is supposed to go to my people, to some dogs? Why would I say that? Why would I do that? Here's her answer.
Verse 27. And she said, truth, Lord.
She said, I agree. She said, I agree. You right. You right. She didn't say, no, John 3:16. God love everybody. You're supposed to love us all. You were sent for all of us. She didn't do that. She said, I agree. My king, I agree. What, read on?
Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table.
Ooh. Even dogs gotta eat. Even the dogs gotta eat. How about that? She knew her place.
Right.
She knew her place. And what did he do? Read on.
And the outside answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith.
Great is thy faith. Read.
Be it unto thee even as thou wilt.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
You are healed. Have a good day. Your daughter's healed. Have a good day. Great is your faith. You know your place. Great is your faith. This don't have nothing to do with anybody else's nation. This has to do with how we are to configure ourselves as the nation of Israel. Okay? And how all of this is placed on us from a social standpoint. Now we're talking about socially, how we're placed in this position as Israel, right? We talked about how our money works and how we're supposed to separate, right? We talked about the psychological effects, right? We talked about the spiritual ramifications, okay, in the very beginning. Now we're talking about the social placement of what's been done to our people. And the social separation is in the scriptures. Even the Messiah knew it, okay? He just showed you, okay? Israel's supposed to be socially separate, and the other nations knew it, and they still know it to this day, okay? I'm gonna get Romans. Let's get Romans chapter 12, verse 18. Listen to this one. Pay close attention to this one. There's another one that gets twisted, way out of context, okay?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
If it be possible.
Wait. So like, I want to jump to verse 2. Let me jump to verse 2. This is a little outside of my lesson. I'm going to jump to verse 2. Read Romans 12. We're going to Romans 12 and 2. Read that one.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world.
Read that again.
And be not conformed to this world.
Be not conformed to this world. That is a social understanding as well. Don't be conformed to the world, right? Read.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim.
The perfect and acceptable will of the Most High. Everybody understand that? Everybody understand how we're not supposed to conform to the world and how we're supposed to hold on to what's good and acceptable to the Most High, okay? Because we're getting ready to see examples of this society and what is acceptable and what is acceptable and perfect in this society. And we're going to see how it never stands up to the Most High's acceptability and what he says is good, okay? Jump to verse 18.
All right. Verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lies in you.
Read that again.
Verse 18. If it be possible.
If it be possible. People read the scripture and they skip this part. If it be possible. That means if it's not possible, we can't do it. Read.
As much as lieth in you.
As much as lieth in you. As much as you got in you. Read.
Live peaceably with all men.
Sometimes the only way to live peaceably, you got to separate yourself. That's the only way. Sometimes to be peaceable, you can only separate yourself. Because if I'm around you, if I'm around some of these demons, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. And y'all ain't going to see Shazael no more. My family ain't going to see me no more. Okay, so instead, and you know, you got to realize too that the Most High said that vengeance is His.
Right.
Okay, so I'd be wrong to take my crowd pleaser will and go start laying down all of these racist ass demons out here myself. Right? I would be wrong for that. Right? Okay, so what I do is I ask the Most High to bring down His righteous judgment on His enemies. And He's gonna let Him sort them out. You understand that? Because we have to, what we got to do is the position our people have to take. This is the position that our people are going to have to take. Okay, because for us to live peaceably, we're going to have to separate. Y'all gonna see it. Y'all see it already, and y'all understand it. Okay, y'all see it and y'all understand it. But I want to just make this clear what we are teaching here. Okay. Because people are saying, "Oh, well, y'all teaching, you know, y'all are teaching separation. The Bible teaches separation." Okay, because if we teach all them together, what's going to happen? Somebody got to go.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I always think about this joke that Charlie Murphy said in he was talking about Rick James, right? The old Rick James skits. Yeah. He said, you know, it was never fashionable to slap a man. Okay, he said even in the Old West, they would slap each other with gloves, pop. I challenge you to a duel. He said they'd have to have a gunfight after that. Somebody got to go, right? So in the confines of this society, for us to be blended together according to the definition of society, the only way for us to live according to the scriptures, peaceably, as much as lies within us, right? We have to separate. We have to separate. There's no other way around it. Okay.
But you know, I don't see why that is so different, because if you look at the other nations, Moab, if you go in their part of town, they have their own business area. They are doing well. They are interacting and networking with their own people.
That's right. That's right.
The Arabs,
the
too. Iranians, the
Esau.
They
got their own areas. They get to right.
And you know the folks that stole our inheritance, the Jews did.
They got their own areas.
Right. And it's not only in the big cities.
Right.
This right here in San Antonio.
Right. Absolutely.
So, you know, so we are, and Houston is bigger than San Antonio. So, and Dallas and so forth, and Fort Worth and so forth and so on. So it's not so hard to conceive
Right,
And look at the big picture.
right.
So when can we look forward to making that move?
Right, there you go, there you go. And this is the conversations we gotta have. We gotta have it. You got a question?
Oh, no, I was gonna respond to your, you know, like, how you'd be wrong if you gunned down like every, Edomite you could.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also have to realize that like no one's gonna bring more wrath than Yahweh Shai
That's right.
and Yahweh.
That's right.
Because
Right.
like think about it, don't you? For our people to really be like, you know, put back to how we were, like, don't we want the most pain to go back to our enemies, how they did our ancestors? We want the most of it, right?
Well, the Most High wants that. He wants that.
Right.
I mean, he that leadeth into slavery, he that leadeth into captivity, gotta go to captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. I mean, those are his promises, even in the law. So, you know, you're right. You know, for us to take it in our hands, in our own hands, we wouldn't even be doing the Most High a service. We'd be doing him a disservice because we sitting here thinking, okay, you know, I'm gonna go beat this fool up. Well,
Right.
the Most High just drop the building, the whole building, and take out 200, 300 people at one time.
And then too, we gotta look at the truth of the matter. All these other nations that had us,
Mm-hmm.
the only reason why they had us in the first place is because we were disobedient to the Most High.
That's right.
He allowed them
Mm-hmm.
to take us. He allowed,
Right.
because we had belonged to him.
Mm-hmm. In the very first place. In the first place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen because I want to show, what I want to show is what happens when we work for their slave patrol. Let's show what happens when we're working for their police department. Okay. The slave patrol is where it came from. Okay. So, share my screen. All right. Okay. So, everybody remember the Capitol attack? What happened at the Capitol, right? Okay. Because I'm not bringing up stuff that happened 30 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Stuff that happened last month. Right. So, I'm bringing this up. This is current events. Right. Okay. Let me get to see if the volume comes up. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay, now I want y'all to notice how the news portrayed it. This is the news, okay? I want y'all to see how the news showed it.
Well, that's what happened to this teenage girl who turned on her own.
Okay, this is regarding, there was a sister who worked for Capitol Police, and she was attacked during the Capitol riot, and she defended herself. Okay, watch this.
Mother, by identifying her online, she told Stephen Fagan how she wrestled with that decision.
Okay, everybody see that?
Yeah.
You can barely see it with the news, okay? You saw a hand come in front of her, right? Let me rewind it real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Rewind. Boom. Okay, they showed that, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
Now watch, keep watching the system. Oh, see, hold on. No, they're not showing it. Hold on.
dramatic video is at the heart of a family torn apart by
Now watch the sister.
a woman faced by a police officer after an intense confrontation in Washington, D.C. the night before the Capitol.
Damn. She licked that nose up, didn't she?
Direct hit. Hey, that's what you call a one-hit quitter.
The sister hit her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I see that.
And the sister was a Capitol police officer.
she was a Capitol Police
Yeah,
officer.
she was a federal officer.
Right, now watch this. Watch this.
Video was posted online, was seen by the public.
She broke that shit up, didn't she?
Because she had no idea her mother was in one. President Trump. What went through your mind when you realized, hey, that's wrong?
It was definitely very unsettling, especially because we do have very different views.
18-year-old Melania Duke of Boston says she got so incensed.
Damn.
How did her mom
Damn.
So you see that? They showed the sister. Bam.
Right.
Okay, that's what they showed,
Yeah.
right? On the news. Watch this.
my mom, every time you told me I should go to BLM protest,
Now why she going to BLM protest?
violent, just you, Melania says.
Dang.
But also, at the rec, Melania doesn't know if her family went to the Capitol with him, but she knows that her mom is furious with her and says she was kicked out of the house after attending a Black Lives Matter rally in Boston. Her mom sent her a message after the tweet.
She told me that I was throwing away my life, that my life is ruined, and that my sister's life is on my hand.
We also spoke to Ashanti Smith.
That's the sister. Her name is Ashanti Smith. Okay, so I'm showing it so everybody can know because we're gonna go to another video that's gonna show it uninterrupted. What the news ain't showing. Okay, watch this. See what they're showing? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that?
The other woman who hit her.
Y'all see that? She got hit again.
She got hit 3 times.
Right. She got hit 3 times. Y'all saw that, right? Okay, watch.
They were caught saying that we always were to die.
Y'all hear that? That's what they were saying.
Right.
Were you in fear for your safety, for your life in that moment?
What kind of question is that?
Exactly.
No, I was just crazy.
No, I'm a good time. He need to get
Yeah. How are you supposed to answer that question? What kind of question is that?
I was afraid for my life. They were trying to take my items, they were trying to take my mask off.
Right.
Smith was charged with assault. She says she appreciates Melina Duke.
She had reached out to me and her friends had been showing her a lot of support. But she was threatened and she retaliated, and I don't think she did anything wrong.
Well, mama. She said she didn't do nothing wrong. Why is that? She said she retaliated, right?
She's not good.
Now, I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna see what the news neglected to show. Okay? Let's see what the news didn't show us. Y'all ready?
Come.
See, Ashanti Smith. Okay, so everybody knows this is the same sister that we just saw. This is the same clipping of the news, right? Watch this. Y'all see that?
Yep.
Y'all
She
saw
tried
that?
to pull her mask off, didn't she?
Let's try to hit her.
Oh, she tried to hit her.
Oh,
Take her phone.
let's show it again. Did the news say anything about that? Did they even point that out?
No, but they saw it.
So watch this. Let's see that. She got hit again. Okay, watch. This is who we're trying to conform to. This is what was going on. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Look at that.
They're trying to kill her.
Is this what our people are really assimilating to? This is what we want, is to be a part of this. I mean, seriously, this is what we, you know, this is a broad spectrum of what is happening. This ain't happening on the streets. Well, hold on. This ain't happening on the streets. This ain't happening during no protests. This ain't no rally. This is inside of the Capitol building. They done broke in here. There ain't no gunshots going off. There ain't no pepper spray. There ain't no hoses. There ain't no dogs. There ain't no rubber bullets. I mean, come on. Somebody could have got a rubber. Somebody could have got a taser, right? At least a nightstick. Hold the line. Hold the line. That's what they get. This is what we're doing. Go ahead.
Right.
So who got the assault charges?
Watch. Got the brakes beat off of her. See?
She lined her up.
Okay, so everybody kind of understand. The sister actually was charged with assault and fired from her job. She lost her job and was charged with assault for punching that woman.
Really? And they stormed the Capitol.
And they stormed the Capitol.
And she's there to protect the Capitol.
She was coming from her break.
She was on a break.
And she was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we see if she had it.
You know what?
No, don't get started. Oh, I got more. We're gonna have a whole open discussion about it.
We know she got a job,
okay.
Right?
No. She's still fighting to get the charges off of her. Y'all understand that? Y'all see that, right?
No,
y'all saw what happened.
I saw everything.
Okay.
And I really don't see, you know, how do you assault a federal police officer and they get charged with assault
and fire. Okay. That happens because we have no business on their police force.
I know. I was getting ready to say that.
Okay. So now let's see what happens when we're working to deliver things to them in their neighborhood. We just saw what happened when we're working for the slave patrol.
Right.
Now let's see what happens when we're delivering to them. Okay. Let me see. Select your family. Let me make sure the volume's good. Okay. Okay. So what's happening is the brother, his name is Travis Miller, this brother right here. He's trying to make a delivery, and the neighbor is blocked him in. See that? On the phone, calling the police.
Right.
Okay. White man walked over to his truck and demanded to know why Miller was in the neighborhood.
Get out of here. Like he owned the damn neighborhood.
David Stewart. He was not the customer, but a neighbor who lived in the community. Miller started recording the incident on Facebook after Stewart blocked the man using it. So he asked the man to leave. Stewart demanded to know how Miller obtained the gate code in their gated community. In a delivery truck, you need to know how he got the gate code.
How big was that truck? It looked like an 18.
I don't know. Hold on, y'all listen to this. The brother's calling it in, telling his boss this is a bad day. Okay. He shared that he was blocked in after completing a delivery. So he had already completed the delivery. He was leaving. Okay.
President of the homeowners association looking at his last house. Got me blocked in, so I can't leave. He called the cops.
See that? Another white man showed up with Stewart and joined in the confrontation.
So we go back, it's an 18 million. You don't have a reason to ask me any questions. Miller refused to then do the privacy for his customer.
The men claimed they called the police, but no officer showed up. Y'all see that? You see that? He had to call the police on himself so he could leave. All right? Look at this.
Then refused to move the vehicle.
He was concerned. He didn't know what they were doing.
But I didn't want to move right away.
He didn't want to leave because he didn't want to look like a criminal. When he was leaving anyway.
Yeah, work truck.
He's doing his job, he was leaving anyway.
Right.
Okay? And grieving the death of 3 family members, you just trying to go to work, just trying to deliver, he saw something, do your job. This is how you reward it. It went on for an hour until Miller's customer confirmed the delivery. So another so-called white man had to confirm and remind, another so-called white man had to confirm to let you out.
Was that in Atlanta?
I don't know. So now we see what happens when we're delivering things to them. Let's see what happens when we just coming home. Just coming home to our own house. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Let's see what happens to just come home. Okay? Let's see what we got. The crowd's talking about Karens. Okay. That timestamp right here. Okay. Waiting for this to load. I apologize. Okay. Let's do 113. Start at 113. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, move it. And then we're gonna, yeah. Start at 113. Timestamp. Okay.
Yesterday was one series of apartment, trashed, eat my food, cooked food, slept in our bed, took showers, put on my clothes, shoes, got called RP, treated like a bitch. These men questioned I'm sitting on my couch. I told the officer that this was their apartment and that I was fine. I could not believe it was Trump. We all know if it was a white woman who had called about 2 black men in her apartment, this would not have ended this. I feel so violent, so mistreated that I called for help and I had to explain myself over and over that this was my apartment over a crackhead homeless person. We could go to my leasing office, questioned by the property manager, asking, how do I know that they broke it? Instead of trying to help me because I was feeling so safe trying to transfer to my apartment. My property manager, and Claremont at Riot Creek asked, when can I move out without giving me the option to transfer, being the situation that just happened, being so rude to the point I had to get out and walk. I'm so speechless. I've never seen or heard of anything like this. Black people in America, I guess, really are guilty of innocent. It sucks. I can't even stay in my own crib because I'm so scared, and I'm definitely not calling police to help. Riot Creek, really. But also stated, I just wanted to share this so that maybe I can help someone. So please just remember me, you. My neighbor sent this to me, and the night before the men that broke into my apartment were walking around my complex, checking door to door, trying to break in wherever. Like, what if someone was there? I'm trying to stay strong because I never experienced anything like this. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has reached out to me and supported me or has helped me in some sort of way.
Y'all see that?
They're checking doors.
They're checking doors. Okay, what's this?
White man.
No, listen.
Yeah, that's my fault. Let the get in, you're tripping.
So he's asking him, what's your apartment number? The guy turned around and looked at him and said, wait, what are you talking about? And the cop asked him again, what is your apartment number? That's what he
Stand
said.
up in somebody else's floor.
Right.
Right.
Taxes homeowner. You have a power meter like this on the side of your
Not this guy.
You can qualify to raise your energy bill at no cost to you. By getting solar panels installed with absolutely no cost.
No, sir. Rewind a little bit. See if y'all can hear the conversation.
Yeah, that's my fault. Let the get in, you're tripping.
He said, I'm shading. This is my apartment.
I'm what?
I don't know. That's what he told him. But he never gave him an apartment number. In the apartment, but don't know the apartment number. Okay?
Email stuff.
Yeah. With people of color all over the walls. Okay? They gotta be. You're not gonna tell me anything otherwise, because we love pictures.
Right.
He turned around and had to ask, what's our apartment number? See, he had to turn around and ask somebody else who is also in the apartment. What's our apartment number?
Unauthorized.
Listen, watch this. Told her to stop.
Police tell her to stop.
Yeah.
Now, arrest them, now, arrest them, now, arrest them. I don't know you. Get the hell out. My kids here. Where's my cat? I'm looking for you. Get off the house.
That's the only thing I can say.
Now, I ain't never heard or seen anything like this.
So they took door to door just
To
and then ask them what apartment.
To eat and sleep and wear other people's clothes.
Wait, then tell say the other person's lying.
Yeah, and then say that she's lying when she comes home. What? Just watch.
And he's really questioning them like it's a like he's on the house now.
Here comes the patrol, the cavalry.
Yeah.
Keep running.
Get out.
Look like Heckle and Jekyll.
Like what
Did you want to shut the door?
And shut the door on her.
Wow. And
In her own house. Watch.
the? Kidding me? Are you kidding me? Somebody should leave. She should leave. That means you're in all of my bro. Who the fuck are these people? Like I swear to God, like I just can't. And I'm so glad this is what they were saying here when I was sitting here. And I'm for myself, I'm glad I stayed at your house, bro. I'm so glad I stayed at your house. I'm so glad I stayed at your house, bro.
No, my thing is, why are you questioning her when she has keys to the place in her hand?
Watch this. Watch the explanation.
They hold crack holes. Obviously, I don't know these white people. If it was black people, that in my house. I don't know these people.
On the couch eating her food
Mm-hmm.
in her apartment.
But they're in there questioning them like that.
How would y'all feel about coming home and somebody's broken in the house, telling the police that this ain't their house, but can't tell them the address? And then tell you, you gotta wait outside.
I'm probably going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean.
It's a fight.
I'm probably
It's a
going
fight.
to jail.
We gotta
Go
throw
in and
hands
get your
up.
own
I'm probably
stuff.
going to
See, I'm gonna tell y'all, I have to come to y'all with this to make sure I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Because the way I think, sometimes I'm a little
shaky.
I could go either way. The word in the Bible is called tarry when
Right.
it comes to these other nations.
Right.
We were in the house, and I thought I heard the door. I thought I heard someone trying to get in the door. And I told my friend, I said, did you hear that? So they said, stay here. They went to the door, looked through the people, it was two white men trying to get in the door and had like a key, and they kept wiggling the door handle and wiggling the door and knocking on the door and just trying to get in. And at one point, it was just like pushing themselves against the door. And my friend called the apartment complex to see if they had sent someone up there. And they said no, but in the end, they just wouldn't change the door lock, but didn't do anything other.
Wow. Yeah, this is February 9th when this happened.
That was serious.
Damn, that was a mistake.
That was just like those apartments.
Really?
That my friend lives in Stone Oaks.
My safe zone, my hand was messed up. I think about what would have happened if, like, I'm just so blocked. I don't know how to feel. Definitely need someone to talk to.
She's completely messed up over there. I mean, how
What
are
if
you
she would've
going to
came
be
home by-
sane
what
and
if she would've came
feel?
home by herself?
What if she came home by herself?
I didn't know they were in there.
Mhm. She had already confronted them the first time. What she's saying is she came in the first time, they were already in there. And then one of them, wait, I'll let her explain.
Shanae's order says when she arrived home,
Briar Creek.
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
2 men she did not.
Get super fast Wi-Fi anywhere, anytime in 6 seconds. Internet providers don't want you to know about this.
She brings clothes. She says one of them even took a shower. A neighbor's doorbell man shows 2 strange men the night before twisting door knobs in the breezeway. Janae said her door was locked, but somehow they got it. And when Janae came home, the young mom was terrified.
So she was already there by herself.
Yeah, so she was gonna go inside.
Yeah.
She saw them.
And she saw them and closed the door.
I never seen anything like this.
Emotions took a new turn when Raleigh police responded to Shanae's call to 911. Officers questioned Shanae and her neighbors, anger and confused on what they see as a lack of urgency from police. The suspects in her apartment were moved by Shanae called to the double standard.
If I was a white woman and I called and said it was 2 black included in my house, I feel like they would have had this out my house immediately.
They shot them, tased them,
They would've
drug
shot
them out,
They'd have killed them.
and drug them out like dogs.
But y'all saw the interaction then.
They just.
What's your
talked to
apartment number? Oh, you don't know the apartment number? What's the apartment number? I'll give you another chance.
They're
Go ahead
just
and ask
having
somebody
us
else.
Step outside.
Yeah. No, y'all stay here. Hold on. I got some other men coming in, and I know she's making noise. We're gonna close the door on her, and we're just gonna get more information from y'all.
So in other words, they didn't have that kind of courtesy that they had on the insurrection at the White House.
Same courtesy.
Same courtesy.
Yeah, same pasties. Watch this.
Now, that's it. Now. But anybody come, she can get that. And I want to see it. She can like that. There is a 4th man in her home.
Oh,
no, y'all gotta listen. Y'all gotta listen. Listen to what these cops are gonna say.
You know, like, good people, like, they just broke into my house. I don't even feel safe with calling the police. Like, you know, you never know. The police department is sort of, we did ask our people about the intelligence that working with people because it's a racist concept. We did ask about that aspect.
Y'all hear that? They asked them, why were they treated like this due to the race of the people involved? Police department didn't even respond.
They declined.
They declined. We're not even gonna respond to that. Yeah, don't worry about that. We're not even gonna talk about that.
So what would have happened if there had been Nava or her or Deborah and came home and 2 white men was in their house? And women, and see, I know her, but she's being not on. And they'd have been strapped. They had concealed carry.
Well, we're not done. Let's see what happened. Now let's talk about caring culture, right? And I know you wanted to hear about this, the caring culture. So let's see what happens when we take our children on vacation.
Oh,
Let's just go have a good time. Go swimming. Let's just go swimming. Okay? Let's get us a hotel and go swimming. We do it all the time, right, family? We do it all the time. Right? Okay. Let's see what happens in this place. All right. How interesting is that? That we can sit here and look at these people that don't look like us, are not part of our nation, and do everyday things, and these are the results that come to us. Okay.
Because I'm the only black person here in this school. They want to question me, but it was two Caucasian people sitting right over there, and she said nothing to them.
Okay. Anita Williams-Wright argues with police and an employee at Hampton Inn in Williamston, North Carolina. We are in North Carolina.
Yeah.
She says a staff member discriminated against her. So the police showed up. A white hotel employee approached William Wright, while she was using the pool with her children. The officer asked if she's staying at the hotel.
I do, and I feel it's discrimination. I have a home here, and I told her that. And I told, no, let me explain my side. She called you officer, and she called you here. So y'all both get harassing me. Why have my children? Why have my children?
So of course he asked for proof. Okay. Can y'all see this? Let me see. Can y'all see this over there? Okay. Can you see it? Or are you too far back?
I'm too far. I can see it. I'm trying to read.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and read it because it'll start running slow. He then asked William Wright for proof that she had a room at the hotel. It is a little hard to read.
Where's my proof? This is my proof. Okay?
So she showed her the proof, her room key.
This is my proof.
After showing her key card to the officer proceeds to ask her for her name.
What the hell they got to do with the prostituting in China?
I have a room here. I don't need to give my name. I didn't break the law.
She don't have to give any information. She didn't break the law. Here's my room key. We're outside swimming. What's this? Williams Wright says that the hotel employee didn't ask anyone else to prove they had a room. So she didn't ask any of the other Edomites or Caucasians that were there at the pool to prove that they had a room there. She didn't do that. She just went to her.
There were two white people sitting over there. She said nothing to them. She said to me, oh, because it's always people like you using the pool. I'm also.
Oh.
Because it's people like you always using the pool unauthorized. You got it. Right. So
that's a lawsuit.
That's her question. Who's people like me? So there's no discrimination going on here, according to the cop. After she didn't give them to provide, she gave them proof that she was staying at the hotel, but since she refused to provide identification.
Is he doing what I think?
The officer is running her license plate on her car.
Yeah.
How about that? Slave patrol at their finest, right?
I hope her shit is straight.
Parked outside of the hotel's pool area.
Right.
All the way we like this in front of my kids. They trying to enjoy themselves in the pool.
The video ends with the woman and her children leaving the pool and returning to their hotel room, trying to assimilate in this society.
They want to follow.
The Hampton Inn employee was fired for calling the cops on Miss Williams. That's it. She just gets to work somewhere else. See, what y'all gotta understand is when they do this, it's not that they want you arrested, they want you killed.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is not to arrest you, the goal is to get you killed. That's the spirit on
I
it.
get it.
Mentally traumatizing, not just to the adults, but the kids.
Absolutely.
So now
And they want it done in front of the kids.
Right.
So they can make an
That's
example.
That's that Willie Lynch.
It's buck breaking. That's what it is.
Bug break, yeah, from Willie Lynch.
The incident is the latest example of police being called on black people for doing everyday activities.
Yeah, the police, once she showed her key, they should have just left.
Right.
And if they really wanted the information, they should have went to the front desk with the woman
Hey, no,
and got that
hey,
information.
no, you don't want me, Brad. You know about Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolina is funky.
All right, don't get my video blocked, will you?
Right, I'm just putting it out there
Oh,
right now.
absolutely.
I'm 64 years old, soon to be birthday next month, so what you gonna do? You gonna whoop me, suspend me? What can they do to me? No.
Right. Right. Okay, so.
That's Carolina.
These Edomites love pushing they look. I
North
can't wait till
Carolina,
y'all
South
go back.
Carolina, they both with you. They both with you.
Right.
There's two other people there. They didn't get said anything to.
Wait, but just what was the answer? Don't they have a key on the door to get?
Yeah, you have to get in, you have to use, you have to.
What would they do? Climb?
Yeah. Climb the fence.
Climb the fence to get the pool.
Okay. White people sitting there.
Go ahead, what were you saying, son? Yeah, anybody got any questions or comments real quick? I'm gonna pull something else up. And then I forgot, any questions or comments here?
I mean, just a comment like, you know, the Edomites love pushing they luck. And I'm proud to say I can't wait till y'all come back.
Okay. Thank you, son. I don't wanna get you fired up. Any other questions or comments that are not going to get our class blocked?
You know, they waiting for it.
No doubt.
Right,
There's a reason.
right. Yes, ma'am, go ahead, sir.
Because it doesn't make sense because they don't mention, you have to like use your card to get in.
Right.
So like,
It
and the other
requires
people
key
there, they
access.
would just let them climb over the fence, because that totally makes sense. They would just let them climb over the fence and not say anything.
It's funny because the other two white people, they're saying, they were like, oh yeah, she had the key, she had the key to get in. They didn't say anything at all.
No, they did not. Okay.
I would've just,
Now, this video, all I can say is, how do I say it? The discretion, the language isn't gonna be the best. However, this needs to be seen. Okay? So, what we wanna display here is we see what happens when we work for the slave patrol, right? Maybe things are better on a higher level. You know, maybe Capitol Police, a federal agent, Capitol Police is too low. Maybe things are different if you work for, let's say, let's say the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Let's say if you work for them, maybe things, you don't get treated quite the same. Would we say that? Would we guess that? Would we guess that? If because I think once you get to that level, your record is pretty much immaculate. You have to have an immaculate record to be part.
If you go that route, you might well scratch them CIA.
Okay, so either way, your record has to be
Yeah.
right,
Unblemished.
unblemishable, right?
Right.
Let's
And your credentials are what they are.
agreed. Now, let me share my screen. I gotta find this video, family. Give me 1 second. Let me find this one video. Please bear with me. Yeah. Go ahead. And we're gonna pull this up real quick. Do we have any questions online? Does anybody see any questions online so far? Anybody see any questions? Okay, I'm just trying to pull up this video, just take a moment. Let me do this. Okay, here we go. Let me go ahead and share my screen right quick. And again, everyone, please bear with us on the language. I gotta warn, if you're very squeamish, you're getting ready to watch what happens as a people when we work for the FBI. You're finna listen to a FBI agent, a black FBI agent arrested by white police officers. Okay? Press this real quick. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay. Hold on 1 second, because this will pick up on you, and I'm gonna open it up so that way. This is after this video right here. So just know we're watching an FBI agent talk to a police officer. That's what we're watching. Now, we know this, but he don't. Okay. So here's the thing. They think he looks like another black guy that has a warrant. He's telling them, I'm not him. I don't have any warrants. Okay? They're like, no, you look just like him. That's you. You got a warrant. You're coming to jail.
Oh, now here come the other guy.
I'm not under arrest. I didn't-
They don't know he's FBI.
Yeah, hold on. He's telling you, y'all got the wrong guy. No, they do not. They wouldn't be arresting him if they did that. But he's telling y'all got the wrong guy. You know, I don't have any warrants. Okay.
You got the wrong guy.
He said, look at my ID. They didn't even bother to look at his ID. They didn't ask him for any ID. Didn't care to look for it. He's already in cuffs. He's guilty already.
Oh, they know.
Look.
Wait till they boss. Wait till his boss contact they do it.
Watch.
Oh,
You see him?
yeah.
Now they're sitting there staring at him.
Yeah.
You mean they let you be an FBI agent?
Now, one on the head, on the back, like, he looked like he was startled after he looked at I just looked up like,
Oh, oh yeah.
Couldn't
Oh
believe
yeah.
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He looked like, well, we just messed up.
No. Couldn't believe that we couldn't be anything else other than a nigga.
Dude.
With a warrant. How can you be anything else but that? This is impossible for you to be anything else. I don't even have to look at your ID. I know who you are, right? That's what they did. I'll throw you in jail, look at your ID later, and I'll make up the story as I go. Wait a minute.
Man got more education than all three of them put together.
Watch this.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you. And get your supervisor right now. See where he goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know he's not jury, right? Yep.
So he basically told him, oh no, you don't need their cards. You're talking to me.
No.
So that way he can protect them.
Right.
Y'all see that, right?
Right.
That's the way that's gonna
But
work.
it's not gonna go down like that. You see where he's going, right?
You see that? We're allowed to talk to somebody. They throw them in cuffs. Y'all see how this works, right?
There's no cleaning. You can't clean that up.
How about that?
And so I've been to any money. He had been sitting out there for a couple hours and he's doing an undercover stand. And they just walked over and blew his cover and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, did you recognize the accent?
Well, I'm not concerned about that. All I'm concerned about is the fact that that could have been you, me, him. That could have been any of us. And they're mostly concerned with making sure that you're in cuffs.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's what happens when you're working for the highest level of law enforcement agency in this land. Okay. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7. Okay. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7. All right. We're gonna get chapter, you know what I want? Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
A what?
For thou art an holy people.
And holy. What does the word holy come from? Wait, no. What does it come from? Let's break it down even further.
It comes from the Hebrew word kodesh.
Kodesh. What does that mean?
Separate or set apart.
Separate or set apart. Exactly. Read that from the top.
Verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh the Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh the Elohim hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
He has chosen the children of Israel to be a special people unto himself. Read.
Above all people.
Above who?
All people.
No, some people.
All people.
Above all people. Come on.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Read.
Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Mm-hmm.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
Mm-hmm.
But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yahweh the Elohim, he is Elohim, the faithful Elohim, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
Bring it home, verse 11.
Verse 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments.
Keep the commandments, read.
And the statutes.
And the statutes, read.
And judgments. Which I command thee to this day to do them.
To what?
To do them.
To do them. Not to say they're fulfilled, not to say that they don't count, but to do them. Now, I want to talk about another social construct here in America. And it's called, here in Babylon, and it's called marriage. All right? It's called marriage. And if you serve the Heavenly Father, the Lord of hosts, the creator of heaven and earth and all things seen and unseen, Yahweh is his name in the Hebrew tongue. We're going to get his definition of marriage according to the scriptures. All right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. Genesis 2 and 23. Go ahead, bring it up.
All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh.
Mm-hmm.
She shall be called woman, because she's taken out of man.
Read on.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, read.
And shall cleave unto his wife.
Uh-huh.
And they shall be one flesh.
And they shall be one flesh. So for a man to leave his mother and his father and to cleave unto this woman, she is his wife. Okay? We clearly see that in the scriptures right here. Mm-hmm. All right? Now, we're not going to just take that and run with it. Let's prove it for our Christian brothers and sisters in the New Testament, what that means. Let's go to Ephesians. Go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 5. Chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 22. Okay? Okay, bring it up. Verse 22. We're going to start there.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands,
mm-hmm.
as also Yahweh.
So wives are supposed to submit themselves unto their own husbands as unto Yahweh. Read.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
Read on.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Yahweh, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what?
In everything.
In everything. Okay, read that part again for the one in the back. She didn't hear that. Read it again.
Verse 24. Therefore, as the church.
Wait, hold on. Read that louder. Read that strong.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Yahweh, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what?
In everything.
In everything. Where you running? Read on. Right on time. Right? That's the most high right there.
Husbands, love your wives.
Husbands what?
Love your wives.
Love your wives. Read.
Even as Yahweh also loved the church and gave himself for it.
And gave himself for it. I teach y'all this all the time, right? We call ourselves husbands. It's easy to sit here and say, okay, you're the woman, you're supposed to do what I tell you to do. I command you to make me a sandwich. Do what I tell you to do, right? But then when the intruder break in or he saw them jiggling the door trying to get in, oh, you want to, hey, why don't you go see who's at the door? No. The scriptures don't say that. The scriptures say that you're supposed to be the head of the church, just like Yahweh was. So you're supposed to be the governor of the body. You're supposed to be the protector.
Yeah, so you go see who's at the door.
You gotta go see who's at the door. And if you gotta take a bullet for that woman, that is your duty. Just like Yahweh took that bullet and laid down his life for us. Same thing. Okay? It doesn't come without responsibility. All right? Read on.
Verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing water by the word.
That he might what?
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. That's true baptism. Read on.
That he might present it to himself, glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself.
Read that part again.
Verse 28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies.
So ought men to love their own wives like they love themselves. Nobody's beating on themselves, slapping themselves around, right? Punching themselves in the arm, pushing themselves down the stairs, right? Driving over themselves, their own self with their car, right? Lay down in front of the tire, turn it, throw it in. Nobody's doing this. Okay, so why are you doing it to your wives? Why are you doing it to your wife? See, that part doesn't get taught in Israel enough, does it? It doesn't get taught in Israel enough, right? Okay, read on.
He that loveth his wife.
He that loveth his wife, read.
Loveth himself.
If you don't love your wife, it's because you do not love yourself. Do you understand that? This is the spiritual covenant that we're talking about here. Read on.
For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it. Even as Yahweh the church. For we are members of the body, of his flesh, and his end of his bones.
Bring it on verse 31.
Verse 31. For this cause.
For all of this. For reason, by all of this reason, read.
Shall the man leave his father and mother.
Shall the man leave his father and mother.
And shall be joined unto his wife. And they two shall be one flesh.
We just read that in Genesis. We just read that in the law of marriage. This is the Most High's definition of marriage. Okay? Can anybody tell me what America's definition of marriage is? No, we don't. Say it again, sis. A paper and a ring. That's good. Oh, we're gonna be here all day. Go ahead. Just give me one. Just one at a time. Everybody raise their hands because everybody got one. Go ahead.
A woman and a ghost.
A woman and a ghost. That's America's definition. Go ahead. A man and a man. Sis?
Two people committed to one another.
That's a good one. Committed. What does that mean? Boyfriend and girlfriend living in the same house? Or girlfriend and girlfriend, right?
A woman and her dog.
A woman and her dog.
Man and his horse.
A man and his, these are all definitions of marriage in America.
Oh.
I know, I knew we were gonna get the good ones come out of here, man. But
A man is electric projector.
wow.
What?
A projection of an anime girl.
Oh, yeah.
That's his wife.
A man and his doll.
A man and his doll. Yeah, his sex doll. I got one. I got one. I got one. A man and himself.
I was thinking,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These are all social constructs. Y'all don't understand. We're talking about social constructs in this society.
Yeah, it's a sex. It's
No,
a sex.
wait, hold on. I can't hear you.
I've heard it say, I'm my own person. I'm my own wife. Like people put themselves in those same places.
Well, I'm confused. Hold on. Is it women saying that they
Both
own?
ways.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. So the man saying he's his own wife.
Yeah.
Wait, he's his own husband. Give me a second.
Take 15 minutes.
I'm my own. I'm trying to understand this coming out of my mouth for it to make sense.
Looking for the key.
I'm trying to compute here. Give me a second, sweetheart. I'm my own husband. I'm confounded.
Is your brain buffering right now?
I'm confounded. Yeah, it's still spinning. Like trying to download a video. Oh, you busting me in the head with that one. I'm my own wife. I'm my own. Okay, I gotta move on. Go ahead.
no, it's like this technical definition of self-love. That's what they think that is. They think self-love is just marrying themselves because like they got heartbroken and then like they think, okay, I don't want anyone else. I'm gonna marry myself because it's self-love.
That they really need themselves.
Yeah.
Before
I don't know, because I ain't in that position, but I just heard it be said.
No,
I'm my
this all
own
started
husband.
with me.
I've never heard
And
that.
there's, I'm my own wife.
And I'm my own wife. I'm confounded.
So what she was talking about? They talk about self-love. Speak louder, so they want to talk about self-love, and then they want to glorify being 800 pounds overweight and stuff like that. They don't want to like go work out and better themselves just because.
And that's called self-love.
Yeah,
Body
because like
positivity.
there's this because it's like people who just think like when they're like extremely like overweight, like where they can like die, like their life is on the line. But like when someone points it out, like they'll be on like social media, like posting and stuff, and when someone points it out, hey man, like that's not good. Everyone attacks them because it's supposed to be like body positivity or whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
They're trying to
people
help.
get-
They're not even
so-
thinking about it. They're just
Okay,
like,
so basically, the truth at this point is a lie.
yeah.
Okay, the truth is a lie.
People get attacked for trying to help someone else.
Yeah.
They're not even thinking about it.
They
They're
like, hey, maybe you should do this so you can like better yourself. Hey, what the heck? That's not. That's how people get to you. You got like 100 comments once you wake up in the morning.
Got it. Got it. The only thing I don't got is I'm my own husband. Okay, I'm completely confounded. I'm gonna be thinking about that for the next 24 hours, 48 hours, how to compute that.
You might stress
All right.
yourself.
Now, I want to show some statistics here. I'll share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Let me give me a second, yes, Shala. Okay. Come. All right. Let's look at some statistics. I'm going to go into ranking as far as single parent households. Okay. All right. And what we're going to learn Keep messing up the volume. Okay, there we go. Testing, testing. Okay. What we're going to learn is that the United States has the world's highest rate of children living in single parent households. Number one, the US is the number one ranked country of single parent households. How many of y'all knew that? You knew that? You knew that too? You know? You could just tell, right? Okay. It's not hard to tell anymore. It's like nothing's really a surprise anymore when it comes around to it, right? Right. So,
assume the worst.
yeah, assume the worst, and then you can kind of figure it out.
Look it up, and it actually happened 2 days ago.
You're like, wow, all I got to do is search, and this is really going on. Okay, so what I want to do is read how, I just wanted to show the article to show that I'm not making this up. Okay, we are the number one ranked country in the world as far as single parent homes. Okay, so I'm going to read about how the, well, how the effects of single parent households are not affecting so-called white children. No, I'm sorry, are not affecting so-called black children the way that it's affecting white children. Sounds weird, right? Listen to this. Certain studies show that black children do not seem to suffer as greatly from the effects of single parent families than white children do. It sounds like a lie, right? Let's listen to the logic. The result could be due to a higher percentage of children born to single black women than to single white women. I want y'all to wrap your head around it.
Wait.
Because the children are born into the fact that they're single parents. They don't know nothing else.
That's all they know.
That's all they know. But then when you go to single white family households, they aren't born into those households. They're born into two-parent households. And then something happens, now it's a single parent household. Now they're affected from the breakup. Everybody understand that, right? Most black children surveyed were born into single parent families, while most white children entered into the lifestyle due to a traumatic loss such as divorce. That makes sense to everybody. You understand how that affects differently, okay?
And their effects actually aren't as crucial as our effects sometimes, because they'll get sent away to grandma and grandpa or something like that. And then go back into a two-parent home, regardless of whether it's mom and dad or grandma and grandpa.
Right, exactly. Now I'm just gonna show just a ranking, the number of so-called black families with a single family, single mother in a home. These rankings are gonna be through 2019, okay? So we're gonna check out the rankings when it comes to single black mothers. We're gonna try to hit all demographics here on this, okay? So, in this is in the 1,000. So we're talking households per, let me see, let me read it. In 2019, there were about 4.15 million black families in the United States with a single mother. Let me read it again. In 2019, there was about 4.15 million black families in the United States with a single mother. These rankings are per the thousands. So 4.14, like you just said, 4.14 million, up from million. Okay, so these are our rankings as of today. Well, as of last year, this is an increase from the 90s level, where there were about 3.4 million Black families with a single mother. So you're almost up. You're almost up $750,000. 750,000 families that are now single parent families as of 2019, and I'm sure that's gone up, since last year. Okay, the typical family is comprised of 2 parents, at least 1 child. That is not the case in every single situation. A single parent is someone without blah 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 blah. Okay, so we know what a single parent family is. I just wanted to show you all these numbers when it pertains to. I mean, you think about it as far as for so-called Black people. 4.15 million households in the United States. In the United States, as far as so-called Black families, are single parent families. Okay, 4.1 million. All right. Now I'm going to give the negative effects of a single parent home. Okay, we're going to talk about that real quick. We're just going to breeze through this real quick, and just want to give some information, and then we got 2 more videos to watch. So the negative effects, I'm just going to kind of breeze through these. Most single parents want the best for their children despite the circumstances. Although there are an increasing number of single parent homes in the U.S., the effects can often be long-term for kids with care of single mother or father. When you want to learn about single children, how children are affected in living in a single parent home, there are a few important facts to understand. Low self-esteem is one. Lack of finances is another. See, I'm going to tell y'all something. There's a difference between living in a single family home and shared homes. Okay, they talked about that. Even though it's 2 different types, the children are still getting the experience with their father and their mother. This is not talking about that. This is speaking on homes that strictly have 1 parent. That's it. They're with 1 parent all the time. These are the effects. It's like a little freeze on here. Isn't that nice? Have something to do with this Geico rabbit or whatever that is. That roach. What? Roach. Okay, so low self-esteem. It can be easy for kids to feel lonely if they spend more time alone, which makes it challenging for them to learn how to socialize with other children. They may suffer from feeling abandoned by one of their parents and can have difficulty with connecting with other individuals due to a lack of confidence. We see this all the time when it comes to the kids, right? If they feel like one of their parents doesn't love them, they may not understand why someone else would see their value. Okay? Lack of finances. Many parents who are raising children on their own may be limited to funds because they are living off a single income. A lack of finances may mean the children are forced to miss out on participating in sports, leagues, dance classes, depending on the number of children who are in the home. It may be challenging to afford new school clothes, tuition lessons. The added stress of living paycheck to paycheck can put extra pressure on parents who are easy to recognize for the children, which can be easily recognized by the children. A lack of discipline. In some cases, children begin to act out of or develop poor behavior due to lack of discipline in the home. With single parenting, it can be challenging to reinforce as many rules due to the lack of support from your partner. Kids may begin to misbehave at school or can become rebellious during their teenage years. Everybody understand this. This has to do with a lack of a father or a mother in the home. Now we're talking about, the stats are talking about single mothers. So you're really speaking specifically to a lack of fathers in the home. Okay, absentee fathers in the home, absolutely. Poor academic performance, we know what that means, bad grades, all right? I know y'all don't want to hear about that. Yeah, let's not talk about it. I know, let's not talk about bad grades. Let's see. Okay, now, let's talk about the power of a two-parent household, okay? The power of a two-parent household. It's not a myth. It's not a myth. It's not something people just made up, okay? Among several disturbing elements of Christina Cross's New York Times, The Myth of the Two-Parent Home, is the author seeing belief that unless growing up married parents, wait, let me read that again, is the author seeming belief that unless growing up with married parents has the same effect on Black children as on white youngsters, it's not worthy of endorsement. Otherwise, asserts the Harvard Protocol fellow, blindly promoting the merits of marriage and two-parent families is not the answer. Her purpose appears to show how Black families do in comparison to white families, as opposed to what the absolute impact of strengthened family structure would be on Black children, okay? Although in general, youths raised in two-parent families are less to live in poverty. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is really key. They're less likely to live in poverty. Black youths are raised by both biological parents are still 3 times more likely to live in poverty than our white peers. So even if so-called Black children grow up with both parents, they're still 3 times likely to grow up in poverty than white kids that are in the same situation. Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you agree with that?
Let me finish reading it, and then I'm going to open it up. Additionally, Black two-parent families have half the wealth of white two-parent families. See, from that perspective, I do. Because when you start talking about the wealth in this country and how the wealth is spread out in this country among the wealthy, I do agree with that, because we don't have that wealth.
Yeah.
And from a broad sense of our people, we don't have that wealth. So from that perspective, I do agree with that.
Right.
We're still the first one fired and the last one fired.
Even when it comes to the middle class, exactly. So many of the expected economic benefits of marriage and two-parent families are not equal to Black children. Now, I'm going to show this, right? This is a breakdown of, I'm going to try to blow this up real quick. Okay. I think everybody can see this. Percentage of children under age 18 in families living in poverty by race, ethnicity, and family structure. So when you look at the dark green, you're talking about a married couple household. You're looking at the one in the middle, it's mother only. The one in the lighter green is father only. So the first is both parents. Second is mother only. Last one is father only. All right. So when you start talking about so-called white people, the percentage under 18 living in poverty, 5% of the entire population of married couples who are so-called white Edomites are living in poverty. Only 5% of the total country. As a single white female raising a child, there's 31% of them that are living in poverty. Okay. Single white female, same thing. Single white males that are living in poverty, 17%. Okay, so 31% single white females, 17% white males living in poverty. Now let's go to Black families. A couple, 12% of the population of married couples are living in poverty. Only 12%. That's 8% higher than the so-called whites. And it has a lot to do with population. But then when you go, this is the part when you look at so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, single mothers living in poverty in this country, you're talking about 45%. That's half living in poverty. Wow. That's Israel right there, living in poverty. The only figures that change a little bit are the fathers.
Makes sense.
Okay. Okay. That are okay. That's going to be pretty much the difference.
So when was that stat done?
This was done as of 2017.
Okay, so it's almost 4 years ago.
Right. Let me look. Give me a second. This article was done. No, this article was done in January 8th, 2020. So these, yeah, the chart is from 17.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So now, what were we gonna say?
And the reason why I wasn't questioning, I was just asking. The reason why, because Esau and his bride, they don't have the income over the last 20 years that they used to have.
Yeah.
They have lost that plateau a little bit.
Not as much as you think. Not as much
Well,
as
we have seen floor plans and the GM plans closed.
right.
We're talking about that working class, that super working class, that upper middle class.
Yeah, but see, I don't want to focus on that.
Okay.
I want to focus on Israel.
Okay.
That's what I want to focus on.
Okay.
We already know they make more money than all of us.
Okay.
We already know that. I'm talking about the what this society has for us as a married couple, a married family, as opposed to a single family. A married couple household led the poverty rate for Black children. When you start talking about so-called Black family,
Right.
that the people that are in poverty, it goes down 73% compared to mother-owned household. So when you add the father into the house, it goes down 73% of the children being in poverty. Okay, so you actually have a better 67% with fathers only. So you have a difference of about 6%. All right. Okay, 23.6% of Black babies were born outside of marriage. I think we kind of get the understanding of the birth rates.
Mm-hmm.
This is another thing I wanted to show: the birth rates of women between ages 10 to 24. White, non-Hispanic, so Edomites, 391,000 had children born ages 10 to 24. So-called Blacks, 176,000. Hispanics, 275,000. And then other, these are just stats of children.
And their numbers are so high because there's a lot of incest.
Yeah, and a lot of them, and we got to remember there's more of them in the population too. But when you start breaking it down per demographic, it changes the numbers a lot. All right. So I'm kind of done with that one. Let's get Leviticus 20 and 26. Leviticus 20 and 26. Go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And you shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahweh, am holy, and have severed you from
And have what?
And have severed you.
And have severed you, read,
from other people.
From other people. The Most High has separated. It's a sharp cut. He separated us from other people because we're supposed to be separate. But we choose to follow this society, and this is what we're under, what we've been watching, okay? Deuteronomy 28 and 30. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 30. I'm going to get one of the curses. Yeah, I'm actually going to get a few of the curses right here. Deuteronomy 28 and 30. Go ahead, bring it up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 30.
Read that strong.
Thou shalt betroth a wife,
Uh-huh.
and another man shall lie with her.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Mhm.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Jump to verse 49.
Verse 49.
Mhm.
Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
The swift is what?
The eagle flieth.
Read.
A nation whose tongue shalt thou not understand.
Mm-hmm.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he had destroyed thee.
This is only talking about our people being in subjugation to the so-called white man in Babylon, living in Babylon, and what it's going to do to our people. Okay. I want to, again, these videos, a couple of these videos are going to be hard to watch, but we need to understand that when the scriptures say that you're going to have a wife and somebody else is going to lie with her, he meant that. Okay. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. And yeah. Okay. So this sister name is Vanessa Guillen, okay, which would be described as so-called Hispanic.
I remember her. Yeah, she was at Fort Sam.
All right. Sure. Start again.
I really honestly did not want to go with the topic tonight.
So she felt like it was safer for her to not say anything by not reporting her attacker. Okay. She felt she was putting herself in danger by telling on the person that attacked her. Okay. Again, we're talking about what happens when we're going to work for their military. Okay.
Really share their stories for the first time. So we talked to all the mothers, felt comfortable enough to talk about it.
What happened to me was a violent sexual assault by a woman. I arrived in Germany. I was very fortunate because I didn't have to travel, but within 2 months of arriving there, I
So it wasn't an enemy that attacked her and raped her. It was another soldier. Okay?
And after it happened, I did not feel comfortable even calling my own.
In 2010, I was in the first sort of group of women on board, and it was rough.
After I was attacked and raped, I called the only person that I knew at the time who happened to be a cop in the Air Force. He was also an enlisted soldier, and as law enforcement, my mandatory reporters, he reported it. I felt like my power was already taken because I was most restricted support and we were slowly getting case, but I don't think that's what I would have done in the first place. I think I would have utilized the restricted reporting, the free healthcare without having to prosecute my attacker. And so
she wanted to pretty much protect her attacker by not reporting. Yeah, because that's what she's in such a fear of her life. Hey, did you need some of that? Oh no, I got plenty of that. I'm good. I'm harassing. No, I'm good. No, you good. You good. No, we're good. So she's using that as a defense mechanism because she's to the point to where she does not want to put her attacker out there. Okay, she's defending her attacker. Yeah.
I felt like my power was taken, and because of the culture of the army itself, I really did not feel comfortable coming away from my command. I just honestly did not want to be slowly with prosecuting my attacker because I didn't have this system, and I felt that it was considered honestly safer to do.
All right, bro. Y'all be safe. She felt that it would be safer for her to just not say anything. Okay, this position she's put in through military sexual assault.
I remember even talking to two of my supervisors, both NCOs, and I told them what happened to me, and I said I was taken advantage of by another soldier, and the first question that I was asked was I drinking? How much were you drinking, and what were you wearing?
How much were you drinking, and what were you wearing?
So from the start, it was handled very unfairly, and I was already discredited. I really just thought, why am I giving my all working for this job in a system that does not care about me?
Great question.
I just want that to marinate for a minute. Why are we working at a job and working for people at the end of the day that couldn't care about us? Okay. Now that that's soaked up, let's see what happens when we listen to their church leaders. Some of the church leaders that we all know. Yeah, Kirk Franklin. Yeah. Yeah, here it is, right here. Talking homophobia in the church. Talking homophobia in the church. Okay? Homophobia means, what does a phobia mean?
Fear.
It means fear. It means that you're scared of it. So that means that if I'm homophobic, it's no, let me not use that. I remember a movie called Arachnophobia. I remember this movie, right? And I was just kind of intrigued about it because I can't stand spiders. I just can't stand spiders, all right? And I remember being a kid, I was probably a teenager or something like that, right? The movie comes out and I go to find out what is arachnophobia. It's the fear of spiders, okay? And the fear of spiders means that you're scared of it. Like, ah! Okay, so that would mean for you to be homophobic, that when you see somebody that's homosexual, it's
Scary.
right? That's what the word means, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see what the church leaders are telling us when we go to listen to them.
About how homophobia has no place in the church, which I absolutely love. Miguel and I have had these conversations over the years, and especially when some of the other gospel artists have been caught saying things that were homophobic and downright mean and
Okay, so this is called Revelations. I had to catch that later on.
What?
Revelations. Yeah, I know I didn't catch it right away either.
Like
No,
her name.
like,
Her
no,
name is
Revelation.
Beverly, probably, and that's
It's a
her.
revelation.
It's her revelation.
So it's her book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
feeling like their lives are not working because they are, part of the LGBTQIA community.
I got a question.
What is the IA?
Go ahead.
Oh.
That was my question. What is that?
You know, we're calling me
Don't get my video blocked.
no, I won't. I don't think so.
Okay.
We call it in the PlayStation part, we call it the alphabet community.
The alphabet community. Okay.
Yeah.
What? That's still not answering what the IA is. You don't know. She's looking it up. Okay. So we're gonna learn today what the LGBTQIA means.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So
Go
they
ahead.
said LGBTQIA is sometimes used and adds a queer, intersex, and asexual to the basic term.
Wait, you gotta slow down.
I'm sorry. Okay. It adds to queer, intersex, and asexual to the basic term.
intersex.
I don't know what an intersex is.
Intersex.
Oh, it is? Are you sure?
Intersex is into
Look it up.
I'm looking
What is
at it.
intersex? And asexual is what plants do.
it.
Plants don't.
Asexuals are.
Asexual means that you can't have sex,
Yeah,
that you won't,
you-
you don't
And
need
then,
to
yeah,
reproduce.
that's what they don't want to.
Plant- Exactly. You are not a human being. Human beings aren't asexual.
Yeah.
You have sexual organs.
Right.
You have to have sex to mate and mate.
Yeah. There's some asexual fish and asexual plants. But there's
Seahorses.
No, seahorse is just the other word. The males have the baby. Males carry the baby.
Oh,
Okay, intersex.
Ugh.
Intersex is a general term used for
wait, hold on. One more time. Start from the top.
Intersex is a general term used for a variety of situations in which a person is born with reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't fit the box of female or male soul, transgender again. Sometimes doctors do surgeries of intersex babies and children to make their bodies fit by binary ideas of male or female.
Okay, moving on.
Some
Yeah.
people,
You know what that means?
some people are born with both male and female organs, like they claim Sierra was.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
And they have to do surgeries to make them one gender or the other.
Yeah, depending on if they have
More
ovaries
female
or have more female.
Or you got the flip side to that coin, to where it's like, to where you like a Ken doll down there.
I've heard they've been
Just
doing,
like nothing down there.
I've heard they've been doing transplants in some men, giving them uterus.
Uteruses. No, I'm not even talking about that.
That's part-
I'm talking
I think that's
about,
part of that.
I'm talking about like a Ken doll.
Maybe there's nobody.
What is that?
No, like
Oh,
nothing.
oh.
Yeah, it's like Toy Story, right? It's like Gremlins. It's like Gremlins. It's like, remember he was in the bar and he flashed the girl and there was
They
nothing
gotta
down
have
there?
something there. They gotta have
Okay, all right, let me finish. Okay, we're going off this. One more. Okay,
I know they're trying to add the P to that.
the pedophiles. Okay,
That's gonna be the next.
come on. So he's saying homophobia has no place in the church, all right?
Hate the sinner, don't hate the sin, but love the sinner. Did you ever feel?
Who said that?
I remember
The church says
They
that.
say that all the time.
I need book, chapter, and verse on that nonsense.
I
It
do.
ain't even in there. Okay, we looked it up. It ain't in there.
And I want people to know that
What did you say?
I want people to know that there's room at the cross for everybody.
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 So let's
Everybody.
Yeah, he insinuated it.
There is no thing that can be met by every human being, that every human being has room at the foot of the cross. There's space for all of us to get on this, because all of us, every human being needs the Savior of the world. You know, John 3:16 from God so loved the world, that everybody in the world, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only son. And whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And then I also remember David said,
Y'all knew John 3:16 was gonna come in at some point. Yeah, that's how they fight for it, right?
there was the heterosexual kid that was, sleeping with everybody and sleeping around the girls in the choir.
So he's describing himself. I was the heterosexual kid that was sleeping with all the girls in the choir. Yeah, right. So because he was a homosexual, he was being ridiculed being in church reading about Adam and Eve because it said Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. That's ridiculing him because that's in the Bible. Okay. Okay. Listen. He said that's humiliating for that guy. Another question. How many of your friends are gay?
They not my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just push play.
Raised in the art. How are you raised in the art?
Yeah, what art?
You're not gay.
He said he was raised in the arts and a lot of his close friends were gay.
Wow.
Hold up. It gets better. Y'all hear how he's stumbling over his words, right? Okay, hold on.
And a lot of my close friends were gay to the point that people call me gay,
I knew it.
He's gay. You're gay for knowing that. You're gay for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. He said some people still think I'm gay. Okay. Now listen to this.
Because being married 25 years don't make it.
You got something? Question? No. Okay. Listen to this.
Years don't make it, don't accept you for being gay. But I happen to know.
She said just because you married, it don't exempt you from being gay.
All right, just because you're married for 25 years don't mean that you're exempt from being gay.
Yeah.
Revelations.
Revelation.
Put him out there.
Revelations 2:33.
Wait. What do you call it? Revelations 2.
From Wardell, that you have a very passionate relationship.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because being married 25 years don't make it, don't accept you for being gay.
Look, that's Revelations 2:31. Just because you married for 25 years does not exempt you from being
gay. They don't.
You've been with the same.
Passionate relationship with your wife. Said that y'all are very loving couple.
Well, I would feel very broken hearted, and I would do anything or any couple with just such a life of obviously the woman to be engaged, they would have to hide and shame themselves or to live with unexpected life. And I don't think that that's fair to anybody. So going back to that, I just think that the
The pulpit is not a place to bully people. Yeah, he was struggling with that.
He's a
Okay.
strong speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, listen to this.
Where you demean and you diminish people, and does the Bible say what it says about all humanity? And Kirk didn't write the Bible, you know, so I'm not able to say the Bible. But we gotta understand that whatever God's word is written from the mouth.
Hold on. I want y'all to listen to this. Listen to the last 7 seconds of this.
It is written from the context of understand that whatever God's word is written from the context. He does not hate people. He does not hate people. That love and truth can coexist.
He doesn't hate people. He doesn't hate people.
Let's go to the Bible. Let's see what the Bible says. Let's see if our dear brother Kurt is stumbling over his words because he's just excited or passionate about the word, or let's see if our good brother Kurt is a liar from the pit of hell. Let's go to Romans chapter 1, verse 24. Because see, my Christians they need to go to the New Testament. They need to know what the Bible say in the New Testament about what he just said. Okay, let's see what Paul said. Okay, because they worship Paul.
Yeah,
What Paul said.
they worship the Most High.
Okay, watch this. Let's go to Romans 1, verse 24.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanliness through the lust of their own hearts.
Through what?
Through the lust of their own hearts.
Read.
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves. I thought the Bible was written with love, not to bully nobody. Watch this. Read on.
Who changed the truth of Elohim into a lie?
Who changed what?
The truth of Elohim into a lie.
Kurt Franklin did. Read.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
Uh-huh.
Who is blessed forever. Amen.
Uh-huh. Come on.
For this cause Elohim gave them up unto vile affections.
Unto what?
Unto vile affections.
The Most High gave them up to vile affection. Does that sound like a good thing? Vile does not sound good at all, does it? Right? Read.
For even the women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Oh, even the women are changing. And what is the natural use of a woman? To bear children. Okay? So Paul is saying this is going to be changed. That the Most High is going to give them up to vile affections. Read.
And likewise also the men.
And likewise what?
Also the men.
Read.
Leaving the natural use of the woman.
So they're not going to use the natural use of a woman, which is to make children. They're going to leave that. Read.
Burned in their lust one toward another.
Burned in their lust one to another. Read.
Men with men.
What?
Men with men.
What?
Men with men.
Men with men. It's in the New Testament. It's in the New Testament. Men with men. Read.
Working that which is unseen.
It's unseemly because don't nobody want to see that. Don't nobody want to see that. Paul didn't want to see that. Read.
And receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat.
That recompense of their error are diseases. That's what you get payback for, because you ain't getting children out of it. Okay? You're getting diseases. Read on.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge.
They don't want to know about the Most High. Almost the LGBT, LB, ABCD, EFG, they don't want to know about the Most High. Okay? They don't want to retain the Most High in their knowledge. Read.
Just like what Kurt Franklin said. He said he don't know because he didn't write the Bible.
Okay.
That's his word. Those aren't my words. So whatever it is, it's with love. You know, so he just pretty much tossed the Bible to the side.
Yeah, because he does not retain the Most High in his knowledge. Read on. No, read it from the top.
Verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge,
Read it strong.
Elohim gave them over to a reprobate mind.
Gave them over to what?
To a reprobate mind.
To a reprobate mind. These people have no hope. No hope. They finished. Read.
To do those things which are not covenant.
Convenient.
Convenient.
Those things which are not convenient. It's not convenient for you to run out here and search for a boyfriend as a man. And go out here and go to the store holding hands. That's not convenient. Why? Because you're going to have problems. Just like women. They're going to have problems. Read on.
Verse 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness.
Being filled with what?
All unrighteousness.
Read.
Fornication.
Come on.
Wickedness.
Wickedness. Come on.
Covetousness.
Maliciousness.
Full of envy. Murder. Debate. Deceit. Polygamy. Whisperers. Backbiters. Haters of Elohim.
Haters of Elohim. Come on.
Despiteful. Proud.
Proud. Read.
Boasters. Inventors of evil things.
Inventors of evil things. Read.
Disobedient to parents. Without understanding.
Read.
Covenant breakers. Without natural affection. Implacable. Unmerciful. Who knowing the judgment of Elohim, that they which commit such things are worthy of death.
That they which commit these things are worthy of death. Read.
Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
And they have pleasure in doing them. I thought Kirk Franklin just said that the word of God was just written with love. Did that sound like love? Death by this is not love. Okay, according to what he's talking about.
Yeah, he done gave them up.
Yeah.
It's like people like to say, oh, yeah, they like to say, oh, I'm born this way, I was made this way. No, you're giving up this way.
He's done with you.
You're just done.
He gave you over to a reprobate mind,
So
meaning you finished. There's nothing else for you. Okay. Let's get the law on it. Let's get Leviticus 20 and 13. Okay, because here we follow the laws of the Most High. Okay, and this is the law right here. Leviticus 20 and 13. Bring it out when you got it.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind.
Read that again.
If a man also lie with mankind.
If a man also lie with another man, read.
As he lied with a woman.
Just like you lay down with a woman, read.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
So both of them did something that the Most High hates. Read on.
They shall surely be put to death.
They shall what?
They shall surely be put to death.
Does that sound like love?
No,
Okay, so what the hell is Kirk Franklin talking about?
he has a reprobate.
He is reprobate mind. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, go ahead.
Their blood shall be upon them. So it's not anybody else's fault but yours.
All praises. That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna share this. I think this is my last article right here. I'm gonna. Hold on. There's a surprise. Surprise. Your buddy Jim Crow Joe.
Oh no!
Right here. And let's talk about what he did when he got in the office. One of the first things he did. Okay, let me get this over here. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Y'all see that? Everybody see that? Expanding the LGBTQ non-discrimination protections. The order will better protect millions of LGBTQ community people from discrimination in many areas of their lives. Gotta protect them. I'm not gonna read the article. I just wanted to show the fact that one of the first things that he had to do in office was this, as an executive order. Because Trump got rid of it. Okay. So here, what you're gonna understand here is pretty soon here in Babylon, all the boys are gonna identify as girls, and all the girls are gonna identify as boys.
Basically, you identify which one you want, not what you're born.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what people doing now. You can play sports in any division.
I was watching thing last night actually. One man was MMA fighting against a woman, and he like crushed her skull in, but he was labeled a woman, so the fight was able to take place.
He what? He did what?
He was labeled a woman.
No, before that.
Crushed her skull in her face.
No, but like the thing is, you can label as a
Yeah.
woman and just like, you can just label as a woman and go home with girls off of it normally, and you could just do whatever, cause like, you can label as a woman, like, you can be like, I'm an actual guy, but in your mind, like, I can't.
Identify as a
Yeah, I
woman.
identify as a
So
woman.
I'm gonna
you
go
can
in
and-
here to the locker
And
room
you
and
can
see
tell
what's
the
going on.
teachers, I identify as a woman. And technically, they can't do anything.
So that's gonna be protection.
But
So
like,
what he just put in law was to protect these people and say that they're not against the law. They're not breaking any laws by
Yeah.
violating you.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
That's what it is.
Like what they're trying to do, the schools are actually trying to like get children like to check them to see if they have any transgender, like to see like for transgender. So they're trying to like check like their private areas to see if they're transgenders.
Wow.
So they're doing that now.
Wow. Now, wait, hold on. Okay, I wanna get through this. All right, y'all hold on to y'all's questions. I wanna get through this because with all that going on, how do you know how to trust somebody? Okay, let's talk about it real quick. I only got a few more scriptures, a few more precepts. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7. Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7. In the Apocrypha. Okay. Let's see how we know how to prove these things and who to trust. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7. We're gonna go through 16. Go ahead, so bring it up.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 7.
Mhm.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first,
Prove that friend first. Read.
and be not hasty to credit them.
Don't be in a rush to credit somebody and prove that they're really a friend. Don't be in a rush. Good, good. That's in the spirit right there. Read on.
Verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion,
Mhm.
and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
So they got their own reasons. They'll be friends for their own reasons, you know?
And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach.
Mhm.
Again, some friend as a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
Mhm.
But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself,
Mhm.
and will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face. Separate thyself from thine enemies,
Mhm.
and take heed of thy friends.
Separate yourself from your enemies and take heed of your friends. Read.
Verse 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense,
Mhm.
and he that hath found such in one oath hath found a treasure.
Mhm. So if you got a friend, a real friend, it's a strong defense. And if you found one, you got a treasure. Don't lose them. Don't give them away. Read.
Verse 15. Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable.
His excellence is invaluable. Bring it home with verse 16.
Verse 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
A faithful friend is the medicine of life. Everybody hear that? Read on.
And they that fear Yahweh shall find him.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso feareth Yahweh shall direct his friendship. Right.
Wait. Read verse 16 one more time.
Oh, verse 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
A faithful friend is the medicine of life. Come on.
And they that fear Yahweh shall find him.
And they that fear the Most High will find a friend. You'll find a friend. You'll find that medicine in life. And we can't do it, Cleveland, under this society. We can't do it. It's my last video. All right. And I think we got overwhelming evidence here. But this just happened last week. What do y'all think of when y'all hear I can't breathe?
Oh.
What do y'all think of when y'all hear that? What's his name?
And the other guy.
There was like something that.
Hold on. Y'all think of Floyd.
And I think of the other guy who had I can't remember his name, who died, where the statement came from. What's his name? Do you remember?
Yeah, George Floyd.
No, there was
No.
another guy
There was one
that had
before
that, where the statement came from wasn't George Floyd, it came from the guy who had the cigarettes.
Oh,
And they were standing on his neck.
the big guy.
Yeah, the
in
big
New
guy
York.
in New York, and they
Right.
killed him.
Right.
I had a shirt like that, but I can't breathe.
He died in the hospital.
Yeah, they killed him. That's where that statement, I can't breathe.
Mike,
Mike Pence.
no. No, he's still running around here.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, okay. Nevertheless,
I want to say Mike Pence.
Mike Brown, that was his name. Mike Brown, that was him. Okay, now, here we are. From last week, not even a week and a half ago, Indigo Police, this time, I'm gonna show you who he is. Show you who he is. Give it a second. Okay. I'm gonna read it while the pictures are coming up, the video's coming up. There's the video. Indio man who died in police custody 2 weeks ago is demanding answers after the video came online. During a video, his name, His name is Jose Albert Lizarga Garcia, a brother, a father, and soon to be grandfather. Where's he at? There's pictures of him and his daughter. I don't know if it's gonna pop up. But in police custody, this is the video. You're not gonna see much.
After video surfaced of the arrest, the man who sprayed by police was heard shouting, "I can't breathe." He's Roxy is live tonight in India with one dramatic video. I think we want to warn our viewers this video may be disturbing to some.
Good evening, and tonight that family is mourning the loss of a brother, a father, and soon to
Give it a second to kind of catch up for some reason. I'm a little slow.
be grandfather. Police say he was under the influence and had left to emergency after being detained here outside the Venus Market in India, but his family is now raising questions about what we see happening on cell phone video of that arrest. Video shows the police from moment.
Give it a second. The video looks like it needs the mold. Let me see. They had a big picture of him and his daughter. I got this demon right here.
Jose Albert Lizarraga Garcia was detained by police. Local officer has seen working to restrain him. Garcia is heard gasping. Saying he can't breathe.
That's it. See that? If we keep up with this story, we're gonna find out. I agree, brother. Nobody should ever have to go through this ever in life, but according to this society, we're supposed to love them and stay here and figure it out. It wouldn't let me pause it. I wanted you all to see him. So what you have done at this point, you have taken the father out of the home and you have essentially thrown that family into poverty. According to stats, by killing him because he was intoxicated. They killed him. It was another public execution of a so-called Mexican man. That happened last week. The Most High have mercy on his soul. And here we are again, talking about how we cannot breathe. Let's get Leviticus 15:31. I got too much scriptures there. 15 and 31. Leviticus 15 and 31. You'll see, assimilating into this society, it takes work for us, for our people. It doesn't take work for the ruling class to do it. That doesn't destroy them. That doesn't harmonize them and their families. Okay? Leviticus 15:31. Bring that up.
All right. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 31.
Bring that up strong.
Thus shall you separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness.
From their what?
Uncleanness.
Read.
That they die not in their uncleanness.
We're supposed to be separated from our uncleanness. Anything that we have been unclean from, we're supposed to be separated from it so we do not die in our uncleanness. Everybody understand that? Okay? Read from the top. Read verse 31 to verse 31.
Thus shall you separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness, when they defile my tabernacle that is among you.
Good, good. Let's get 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. It's my last scripture. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. Because, see, if that brother didn't understand that he was an Israelite, he didn't understand the uncleanness that he was living in. So he was not separated from his uncleanness. But being in this society tells us that we're supposed to be happy to live the way they tell us we're supposed to live, not the way the Most High tells us to live. Okay? Bring that up.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 14. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Read that again.
Verse 14. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Everybody understand that? That's the society. Read.
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Yahushua with Belial?
Belial.
Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement hath the temple of Elohim with idols? For ye are the temple of the living Elohim. As Elohim hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people.
That's why he said to separate the people from their uncleanness. Okay? So they shall die in their uncleanness. Okay? Read on.
Verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them.
Read that again.
Verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them.
Come out from among them. Read.
And be ye separate.
And be ye separate. Be holy. Read.
Say Yahweh. And touch not the unclean thing.
And
I will receive you.
Read.
and will be a father unto you,
Mhm,
and ye shall be my sons and daughters,
mhm.
said Yahweh Almighty.
Says Yahweh Almighty. This is how we are supposed to socially separate. Anything having to do with what we saw today, everything that we saw today, we have to understand that the scriptures tell us to be separate from that. This is how we socially separate from that. Do we have any questions? It's a false god, just a false deity. Okay, it's a Greek deity when you look it up. Any other questions? Okay. I thank all of y'all for joining us today. This was a lengthy lesson, but it has to be done. Everybody has to understand how to be socially separate from this society. Okay, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. As always, I want to give a shout out to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. I want to give double honors to the elders and messengers of the covenant. And I want to give all honor, power, and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. And with that, say Shalom. Shalom.